Hello, I'm Al Waller for the Henry County Library System in Henry County, Georgia. I'm a cartoonist, animator, and educator, and I'd like to present to you our next episode of The Wild, the Weird, and the Wonderful. These are short video sessions where I teach you how to draw a cartoon version of something from the amazing world around us. But while I'm doing that, I'm also sharing some wild, weird, and wonderful facts about the thing you're learning how to draw. This episode is part of a series called Journey Around the Color Wheel, Journey Around the World. Ooh! There's a lot more to colors than you might realize, so we're going to look at the history of different colors and discover some wild, weird, and even wonderful stories you've probably never heard before. The title of this episode is Cactus Critters and Killer Curtains. This turn of the color wheel takes us to the color red and to the deserts of Oaxaca, Mexico. One of the most common forms of red comes from the cochineal, a tiny insect that lives on cactus plants. The cochineal is full of carminic acid, which it uses to deter predators like ants from eating it. When squashed, this acid mixture creates a vivid red color. For a long time, people have used this to create red paints and dyes. It takes over 70,000 insects dried in the sun, then crushed into powder to produce 1 pound of red. Today, this version of red, which I remind you is made from the body of a squashed bug, is used in lipsticks and lots of food like ice cream. Another type of red is vermilion, and it can be called the dangerous red. That's because, unlike cochineal, this red is poisonous, being made from the mineral cinnabar, which contains mercury and sulfur. If you were a miner who mined cinnabar, you'd die quickly from the fumes. Or, if you tried mixing it, then explosions could be a very real cause of death. But people still love vermilion. Wealthy Romans used it to paint their homes. And in China, only emperors could use it to mark royal documents. Next on the color wheel, we move to green, which takes us to a tiny island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, St. Helena. In the past, a shade of green became very popular. It's called Scheele's green, and it was cheap to make, so thousands of homes had the color in its curtains and wallpaper. People used it in their clothing, and it was even popular in foods and candies. The problem was that Scheele's green was originally made from copper and arsenic. Arsenic is poisonous to humans. Depending on how someone was exposed to it, there was always the danger of absorbing the arsenic through the skin and dying from it. Emperor Napoleon was one of the most successful generals in history, nearly conquering all of Europe. When he was finally defeated, he was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena. Napoleon loved the color green, and his house was decorated with curtains and wallpaper dyed in different forms of the arsenic-based color. It's thought that the green he surrounded himself with may have even contributed to his death. For this episode of The Wild, the Weird, and the Wonderful, we'll be drawing a cartoon version of the Emperor Napoleon. Follow along as I teach you how to draw this shape-based character. First, I'll draw the shape for the head. Start near the top so you get room for the rest of the body below. But remember, he wears a big hat, so leave some room above the head shape. The head shape can be a simple circle, but it doesn't have to be perfect. This is a 3/4 view of the character, so I'll divide the head shape with these curved crosshair lines, so we'll know how to put everything on the face. Now I'm drawing my body shape. I'm connecting directly to the head instead of giving him a neck. Now I'm putting in 2 thin rectangles for the legs. Now you can pause the video and draw. draw the hat. I start with a wide line across the top half of the head. Now I'll draw the tall center shape, like a simple hill, and the two end shapes, which are similar but much smaller. Then I connect them with a curved line between each. And I erase all the unneeded lines inside this new shape. Now I'll create shapes from the boots by using triangles. The first one is a wide triangle centered on the leg so it looks like it's pointing toward us. And I erase the extra lines. Then I draw a smaller triangle to the side of this leg shape so it appears to be pointed off to the side. And then I erase this extra line. Finish the boots by drawing this dividing line around the middle of the leg shapes. Okay, let's begin the epaulets, which are fancy shoulder insignia. We'll use rectangles. One here and erase the extra line, and the other kind of partly hidden behind the head and body shape. Now we'll start creating the line for the coat. First, a curved line across the belly, then a flat line to show where the pants start. Then erase this one line on the leg closest to us to make it look more connected. Now pause the video and draw. Now the arms. First, the tassel for the epaulets. Erase some of the body line, then draw a zigzag line. Draw one for this side too. Now, draw this arm with an angled line here and a straight, shorter line. This creates the sense that the arm is folded behind the back. Now draw a curved line to create the center of the coat. And draw a simple rounded shape here for the hand. We'll connect the arm. First, erase some of the body outline. Then draw these lines to give the sense that the arm is bending in front of the body and his hand slid inside his coat. Now we create the back or tails of the coat. We'll use these straight lines that go behind the legs. Now pause the video and draw. Okay, we'll finish out with the details. First, we draw the eyes with these curved shapes on both sides of the center line. Then add pupils within these shapes. Drawing it like this makes it look like the hat is sitting low on his head. Now the nose. An open triangle will work, then I'll erase the lines I used to divide up the face. A curved line for a simple mouth. Next, draw a rounded ear shape and erase this line that you don't need. For the other ear, draw just enough shape hidden behind the head. Add a couple of curved lines to indicate the hair and a simple detail line inside the ear. These lines will make the collar, and I'll erase the line dividing it from the jacket. I'll draw some button details along the center of the coat and shirt. I'll draw a medal on his chest using a rectangle, a triangle, and an oval. And finally, I'll create the emblem on his hat with 2 circles and a zigzag line. Now pause and draw. If you would like to learn more about this episode's topics, just go by any one of our 5 branches. Or just go to our website at henrylibraries.org to get access to our nearly limitless resources.